What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Boo TV. Thanks for dropping in. I just want to talk about the game one of the Western Conference Finals, Spurs versus OKC. More specifically, Victor Wembanyama's performance. I already thought that this series would go 7. I predicted that all the games would be very, very, very close and competitive. So it wasn't a surprise to me that we got a double overtime thriller. But like I said, I want to talk about Victor Wembanyama. I cannot really think of an individual playoff performance that I've seen in recent memory that tops this. From just a player in general, I got to go back to Game 6, Giannis Antetokounmpo to win a championship. I was there in Milwaukee watching. He had 50 points, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks, absolutely dominant. Now, take away the stakes. Obviously, Giannis did it for a championship. This is game one of the Western Conference Finals. I'm just talking single performance-wise. I will put this over Giannis. The 41 points by Wemby, 24 rebounds, Wemby, 3 blocks, 3 assists, 1 steal, Wemby. Absolute dominance, Wemby. Both ends of the floor, Wemby. Better defensive player than Giannis, and Giannis is a great defensive player, Wemby. You know what I mean? And then, like, from a player his age, you got to go back to 2007, LeBron James versus the Pistons, 48 points, and he just went on a tear in the fourth quarter, all the way through the end of the game. And I would put the Wemby performance above LeBron's Game 7 performance. How old was Kobe when he had that 48-point, 15-rebound game versus Sacramento Kings? And Wemby's performance was better than that. How old was Kobe? Yeah, Kobe had 48 points, 16 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. People don't talk about that game. That was an amazing performance. One of the best I've seen in person. And Kobe was 22, the same age as Wemby, 22. But even for a shooting guard, it's incredible, 16 rebounds, 40 and 16. I got to put Wemby's performance over Kobe's against the Kings, especially given who it was against. This isn't the 2002 Kings, this is the 2001 Kings. And either way, that team isn't better than this OKC team. This is the best performance that I've seen live from a young player, without question. Now, I'm not jumping to conclusions. I'm not about to sit here and say Wemby's the best player in the world. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying that. He could be. I don't know. I have to wait till the offseason to really think about it, see how things play out, and then really take my time and consider who I think is the best player in the league. May or may not be Wemby. There's obviously an argument for it. Could be, couldn't be. I don't know. I got to think about it, in my opinion. So I'm not ready to go there just off one performance, albeit an incredible all-time performance. So I'm trying to stay level-headed with this. Like, watching what Wemby was doing at 7'5", not an answer for him, complete domination, especially in the interior, both ends of the floor. I wasn't alive to watch Wilt, but I understand his dominance. Like, this felt like watching Wilt Chamberlain to me. I've seen highlights. I haven't seen any full games, but I know a bit about the history. Like, this felt like a Wilt Chamberlain. And Wilt Chamberlain was doing it like every single game. Keep that in mind. But that's how much Wemby felt like a man amongst boys on the court. I mean, I honestly, if you ask me, could he average, 35 to 40 points per game, 15 to 20 rebounds per game, if he really wanted to? Absolutely, I believe he could. Now, one of the biggest gripes I've had against Wemby since coming into the league is that he was shooting too many perimeter shots and he wasn't taking his big butt closer to the basket. He has definitely came into the league this season and has changed that. He's taking less threes, taking smarter threes, and dominating more in the paint and closer to the basket. And one of my other complaints is that he needs to get his position before getting the basketball. His rookie year, he tried to get the basketball, then try to post back down. He didn't have the strength to do that, and it was dangerous considering his height and how players could swarm him trying to dribble the ball. But now you see that he's getting his position, moving without the basketball, finding his spot, finding his position, then calling for the basketball. At which point it gets dumped into him. If it gets dumped into him high, he can just stay high, dunk it, lay it up, or drop step, pound dribble, go up strong. And this is a clear difference in his game. And this is what I wanted from him from the beginning, but I'm glad he's incorporated it in game 3 or in season 3. And he was going to that a lot in game 1. And I was so happy to see it. So happy to see it. Use your size to your advantage. You are unstoppable. I mean, when he was catching the passes, he was just like in a smooth rhythm, in a smooth motion, just going right up with it. Within a second, already in the basket. Within a second, immediate dunk. Barely off his tippy toes. Nobody could stop it. Nobody. OKC bigs, OKC smalls. They tried everything. Chet's too weak. Chet has length, but still not long enough. Too weak. Can't handle Wemby. All right, let's put a little scrappy Alex Caruso on him. A bit stronger, maybe getting his lower back. Couldn't do nothing. And the crazy part is, at halftime, Wemby only had 14 points and 10 rebounds. And I remember watching the game, and I was like, they need to go to Wemby more. That's one of my gripes about the Spurs. I know they have depth, and I know they're running it kind of like Tim Duncan. Like, Tim Duncan's stats could have been much better than what they were. But they didn't need him to be that player all the time. But when it was time for him to be that player, he'd step up and he'd be unstoppable. And the Spurs have that depth, so they can get away with that a lot. But this game, I was like, especially this game, I'm like, feed Wemby the ball. Get this man the ball more often. Let him go to work. Let him create chaos and create havoc. And then go ahead and feed off of the chaos he creates, because the defense is going to react to that. The man was unstoppable. 1 player, 2 player, 3 player, crowd him, sneak doubles. You know, what are you going to do? You can't do anything. This is the Wemby I've always wanted to see. And they're going to need this Wemby if they want to advance and win a championship, because he demoralizes his opponents. You saw what he did to Chet. His aggressiveness, man, he took Chet completely out the game, physically and mentally. Took Chet out the game. This guy truly is something I have never seen before. Never seen a player like this. The things he can do at his size, simply incredible. And then when he pulled up from the same exact spot Steph Curry, literally the same exact spot Steph Curry pulled at in the 2015-2016 season. You remember that iconic shot against, guess who? OKC. He pulled up from literally the same exact spot. Drano, 3, to tie the game, force overtime. Steph did it to win the game. Wemby did it to force overtime. Same exact spot. It is incredible how that happened. And he shoots that 3, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? Who does he think he is? Swish? Oh my God. This man is truly a problem. Truly a problem. 14 and 10 at halftime. I'm going back to that. 14 and 10 at halftime. Could you imagine if he would have exerted himself earlier? Could you imagine? Man probably would have had 50-something points and 30 rebounds. And I'm not joking. That's not an exaggeration. It reminds me of Kobe's 81-point game. Kobe was cruising the first half. I think at halftime he only had, 24, 25, 26 points, something like that. It didn't look like he was going to score 80. And then he just dialed it up to another level in the second half. And I always said, imagine if Kobe came into that game really trying to gun it like that. Man would have had 100 points. This is exactly how I feel about this Wemby game. I swear to you, he would have had like 50 and 30. Many great players have that one iconic game when they're young in the playoffs to let the world know, I have arrived and or I am coming. I am coming or I have arrived, right? One of the two. For Wemby, this was obviously that game. The man is brimming with confidence. He's the perfect balance of confident and humble. He doesn't really cross that line where you're like, this guy's a cocky bastard. He doesn't really cross that line. He has the perfect balance of it. I love it. And he's bringing back that competitive edge in basketball that I really haven't seen from a player since Kobe. I'm not saying Kobe was the only one that had that, but at that level, right, at that all-time great level, Kobe was that guy. But there were other players that were great, but not as great as Kobe, that had a similar mentality. Ant has that mentality sometimes, but he ain't on Kobe's level. He ain't on Wemby's level. That's the difference. Victor Wembanyama, without a doubt, has a great chance, in my opinion, to be the greatest basketball player of all time. I truly believe that. Now, it's too early to say that, And I'm not going to give it any real thought right now. It's way too early. We got to see how his career pans out. We got to see how his health goes. We got to see how many championships he wins. What his other accolades are. I mean, as long as he stays healthy, without a doubt, he's going to be first team all defensive probably till he retires. He'll probably make all NBA teams the vast majority of his career. We'll just have to see how many MVPs he gets. And he'll probably get every Defensive Player of the League award from here to the next 15 years. I mean, who's going to be better than him defensively as long as he meets the minimum game requirement to win awards? I mean, that's the only thing that's going to be keeping Wemby out of the awards is that 66 games, whatever it is, the minimum game requirement to win awards. That would be the only thing keeping Wemby out of it. Like, how he can dominate offensively and how he can dominate defensively. Like, in the modern era of basketball, I've never seen anything like this. The box score never does his defense justice. Even when the box score might say 8, 9, 10 blocks, it still doesn't do his defense justice because he does so much that doesn't show up in the box score, that there are no stats for outside of, you know, advanced analytics that they might bring up on these television shows. You know what I mean? But I haven't, oh man, like, forget the blocks, the amount of shots he alters, how difficult he makes shot attempts, how he forces offenses to take tougher shots and to dissuade them from even coming in the paint. It's incredible. And I noticed sometimes the Spurs will even let guards blow past their defense because they're trying to channel them to Wemby to get the block and start the fast break. I've noticed that. Imagine that. Imagine a defensive scheme where it's like, yeah, we're going to let you blow by. We're going to guide you right to this guy. He's going to alter or block your shot, and we're gunning. We're running for the fast break already. That's our plan because we have that much faith in the defense that this guy provides. Wemby's not my favorite player in the league, but I wouldn't be surprised in another couple years if I might be like, yeah, Wemby's my favorite player. And that shot, there's a video and there's a screenshots of it, of him like this, looking into the crowd, and his whole team is just like, I'm like, yo, that's some serious ore farming. Like, that's one of the coldest basketball shots I've ever seen. One of the coldest basketball shorts I ever seen. That was so cold. I was like, that's the iconic moment right there. Everybody's looking in awe, like, it felt, the whole moment felt legendary, man, mythical. And look, this is my grounded, level-headed response. That's how great of a performance that was. The box score, the 41-24-3, doesn't even do it justice. You had to watch it. You had to watch it. And he makes it look so easy. The footwork is there. The perimeter play is there. The ball handling is there. And his passing. His playmaking doesn't get enough credit, man. He makes some phenomenal passes out to the three-point line. Firing that ball across the baseline, things like that. He really does. And he's only getting better. The guy has it. This is his third year. His third year. He has so much to learn. He's still just raw talent. He's raw talent. He has so much to learn about the game still. The man is still like 5 years from his prime, probably. Think about that. Think about that. Once he really starts figuring the game out and the game becomes even more slowed down for him, oh my Lord. Yeah, this guy has true greatest of all time potential. He's definitely one of the best 22-year-olds I have ever seen in my life. And one thing I really hope, along with Joker too, but Joker's much older than Wemby, is that I really hope this brings back the traditional big to the basketball game, because teams are going to need bigger, stronger players to deal with this guy and make it difficult for him. So I hope we start to see teams bring in more length and height and put more emphasis on the center position, like back how it used to be in the 90s and 2000s. I would love to see it. And still, good luck finding a guy that's as versatile as Victor Wembanyama. Good luck. Unlike anything I've ever seen. And I'm rooting for the guy. I picked OKC to win the series, but you better believe I would rather the Spurs win, but I picked OKC to win it. Victor Wembanyama. I don't have words for this guy anymore. Y'all let me know what you think about it. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know what you think about Wemby. What did you think about the performance? 7'5". Remember that, folks. 7'5". Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. Catch you on the next one. We out, baby.